Brought to you by Tailored Wealth, helping business leaders live their version of a rich life.
Welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we cut through the financial noise and help business leaders to make smart, confident money decisions. Welcome to episode number 12 of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. I am your host, Dan Pascone. I'm the founder and CEO of Tailored Wealth. And as always, each of our episodes features a trusted voice in the financial world, someone who works directly with high-level professionals to simplify the complex and turn strategy into action. And today I am really excited to welcome a special guest. We've got with us Rachel Phillips, and Rachel is the CEO of Fully Accountable, and they specialized in outsourced accounting services. So Rachel, thanks so much for joining me on the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. Great to have you on today.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, you bet. We're looking forward to chatting, and I know that there's a lot for us to cover, and our audience will want to hear your expert take on some key topics. But if you don't mind, let's jump right in, and if you can, give us like a 90-second overview of what your business does and a little bit of your story on how you got it started.
Absolutely. So Fully Accountable is your outsourced accounting department. We do bookkeep, accounting, CFO services, whatever hole you need to fill in your accounting department, we can help fill that for you. Or we could be your entire accounting department. Our goal really is to make a customizable solution tailored to your business, not try to fit you into a package that doesn't really fit your needs. For me personally, I'm a lawyer by trade. I came up through law school, found a real niche in the finance and corporate space, doing some merger and acquisition work, ended up at Fully Accountable. And over the last decade that we've been in business, I worked myself up from intern to last year I became the CEO of the company and purchased out the majority shareholder. So now me and my business owner own 100% of the company.
Love it. All right. So I got to unpack that a little bit there. I mean, I've got a bunch more we got to go into, but just really quick, tell us the journey from intern to CEO, because I certainly love that.
Totally. So when I was in law school, the majority owner of this company had gone to my law school and said, I want the number one kid in the business class. He was looking for a law clerk in their, at the time, multi-unit web hosting company. I happened to be that person. I went in and interviewed, loved him, loved what they were doing. And what I enjoyed most, I was going to get to do real work. I wasn't going to be getting the copy, faxing, and mailing. I ended up joining about 2 weeks later and ended up working with him for 13 years until he went and decided to do some own personal passion projects starting last year. And then I got to continue on with Fully Accountable. Been there since day one, was technically employee one, and now own the majority of the business.
Good for you. That's a great story. And one that actually really hits home for me because I'm very close with my office right off of their main campus,
Oh, cool.
Their business school. And we hire a number of interns, and I am all about giving them real work, not just picking up the copies for sure. So I'm great to hear that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Fully Accountable, Rachel. Let's talk a little bit about what does your ideal client look like, and then just give us in a nutshell what you really help them to do. What are the outcomes you help them to achieve?
Absolutely. So for Fully Accountable, our real niche is somebody who has a business generating revenue. So think $1 million plus a year, and we service clients up over $100 million. It's really somebody that understands how they can best leverage a solution that has all of the tools and resources that they need, but then we'll work with them as their team. So like I said, we'll do anything from your bookkeeping up through your fractional CFO, but what we're really trying to do is get you, the business owner, out of having to do your QuickBooks or whatever your accounting software is, give you back that time so that you can go and do what you're best at, which in most times is the sales and marketing, which generates more sales. So if we can take that time off your plate, we in theory are helping you generate more sales and revenue. And if we're doing our accounting correctly, we're also helping you grow your margin. So you're really growing your top line and your bottom line if you work with Fully Accountable. That's our goal.
Absolutely love that. I am a former revenue leader, and I still spend the majority of my time on revenue focused functions within the business. So I can absolutely relate to getting that sort of financial time back and sort of pouring it into the front end side of the business and how valuable that can be from a business owner's perspective. And frankly, freeing, at least in my experiences, that they can be really freeing.
Yeah. And I think one of the areas that is people have to overcome is this idea that accounting is just an expense. Like if your accounting department is doing it correctly, they should be a profit center for you. Now, they're never going to make the money that your sales team or your marketing team can generate, but even just cost savings, financial strategies with your operations department, they should be forward thinking for you, not just closing out the books 30 to 45 days after the period has ended, right? We should be on top of that stuff daily, weekly, monthly, so you're able to pivot quickly and make good objective decisions.
Very, very cool. Very cool. It sounds like your offering is fairly customized based on the specific client, but tell us a little bit about what like a typical engagement might look like, Rachel.
Yeah. So our typical most common engagement will be something that looks like having an outsourced controller. So somebody that does your books on a daily basis, keeps them up to date, pays your bills, sends out your receivables, runs the payroll, keeps a budget for you, and a 13-week rolling cash flow. All the little nuts and bolts that you need to run your business, those happen daily, weekly, and like I said, monthly. Where we are a little bit different than another firm is that because we do that in real time, those reports are coming to you. So the close of your month might be 5 or 8 days as opposed to 30 to 45. The idea is that if you have your numbers and the data quicker, you're able to, if there are red flags or things you need to fix, you're able to do it quicker before it becomes a big issue or a financial bleed.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you for that. Let's talk a little bit about the challenges that your clients face. Walk me through what are like some of the most primary challenges, and then a little bit about how you and your team work to help them overcome those.
Yeah. So the first challenge that we started really in the digital online space. So serving e-commerce, digital brands, marketing agencies. So the biggest challenge that we're always seeing is marketing and advertising costs. When it's seasons of more expensive advertising, it can be very difficult for them to be profitable on their products. On the flip side, we've now entered this era of tariffs, and how do we now weave that additional expense into the business without draining the entire margin, but also without not making the product so expensive that the customer can't buy it. So for us, it's always the marketing and the inventory costs for our clients that we're having to dial in on and help. So that might be helping to negotiate better contracts with vendors, better payment terms, or building really specific dashboards for them when it comes to marketing so that they can know where they're most profitable and where they're least profitable. One of the things that we see a lot of times is if you're blending all of your marketing, you might not actually identify that you have 1 or 2 campaigns that are really upside down and in the red, and then 2 or 3 that are profitable. If you just cut those bottom 2 and reinvested in the others, you'd be making a lot more money.
I absolutely love that point. I mean, it's one that is so pronounced. As someone that spends a lot of time focused on marketing and outreach, I can totally relate to that one. And frankly, I can also relate to the fact that that type of analysis you're not getting that from a typical accounting team. I certainly get that. So it sounds like you're really operating as a true business partner in that regard. And I think that's...
Yeah, in a perfect world, we'd like you to feel like we're on your team, not that we're outsourced. Yep. So if we can help facilitate that relationship, we will work better with you and we will be able to serve you better.
That sounds great. Let's talk a little bit about your industry. What are like some of the challenges that you see today in your field, and how do you sort of structure your business to be prepared for them?
Yeah, I think the number one thing in accounting that we're seeing is it is now being touched with AI. And so how do you differentiate yourself, and or how do you continue to provide something up and beyond what the software that's been built or the AI can do that makes you valuable for the price point, right? So again, like you said, with a typical accounting firm, they're closing out your books. One thing that we really focus in on is guidance, advice, human relationships, like having somebody in there that's reading the numbers. I think software and AI are really powerful, and that accountants need to be using more of it to their advantage, not looking like they're in competition with it, and that it's going to put the accountant out of business. I think it's a powerful tool that you can use to make yourself more efficient, reduce errors, and actually be better for whoever you're serving.
Very cool. Very cool. Makes a lot of sense. And where do you see that going, specifically the AI piece, but just your industry in general in the next 5?
I see that the work being done by the human right now, so building the P&L, is likely going to be or the balance sheet likely, if not completely, mostly reduced by software and AI. I highly doubt in 5+ years that you're going to have the bookkeeper that's still going in, categorizing, putting things in places, and accountants are going to become more reviewers and strategists as opposed to what you might call like a doer inside of the books. I see it really pivoting more so where we're relying on the technology and then you're more of a strategist.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right, let's talk a little bit about how you ultimately get connected with clients. How do folks find you? How do you typically connect with them? Walk us through a little bit of like the initial journey from working with a new client.
Yeah. So just like most companies, we do inbound and outbound. So you can find us at our website, fullyaccountable.com, LinkedIn, all of our socials. You can opt into any of our resources that we have, which are the biggest way that people find us. So looking for a template of some sort, we give away a lot of resources that we can to help you go and do it yourself. If you're not able to, or if you're like, hey, I really just don't want to waste my time on this, let's let an expert do it. That's where we can hop in and help. We're at events, so outreach, looking for companies that are looking to hire accountants because we're a solution that could fill that role for you. The typical journey is we get connected, we're going to learn about your business, and then we're going to walk through how we might be a solution for you. We'll continue to cater and customize it until we land upon the real solution that's going to help you serve you and your business. And then we onboard you and staff it appropriately so that you get those services and can really get rocking and rolling quick. Onboarding for us really lasts about 30 to 60 days. So we've got a very robust onboarding team so we can get you in very quickly and start making impact pretty fast.
Very cool. Very cool. Talk to me about any referral partner relationships, not maybe specifically, but the types of folks that you maybe collaborate with in other fields and get connected with potential clients through that.
Yeah. So for us, the most typical type of referral partners are people who work with clients who need to know their numbers. So agencies, be it marketing agencies, PE firms, brokers that are helping people sell their business. Those we can help both of them by getting the accounting done. So those would be referral partners. We work with payroll service providers, inventory service providers, all of those where our clients are using a service because we can help make them better at what they do and more streamlined. It's a win for both sides.
All right, very cool. Very cool. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. We're gonna now start to get to know you a little bit more. First off, tell us a little bit about like your leadership journey. I love the idea of going from intern to CEO. What's sort of like your biggest objectives right now for the firm? And then what's your vision for the future?
Yeah. So very collaborative. I'm an expert in what I know, but I have hired experts or the people that are best in the management so that I can rely on them and get good opinions. And I want people who have ideas. So very collaborative, not a lot of hierarchy or bureaucratic steps in there. So very team oriented. For us, what we're looking to do, like I said a little bit earlier, is how can we weave in technology into our system so that we can spend more time in the guidance and strategy portion. Right now, our CFO services are really where you get not only your most bang for your buck, but we can really be the best partner to you in light of the economic uncertainty that we're going to. Our CFOs are constantly staying on top of the research, timelines, anything new that's popping up. So it can eliminate all of that stress for you. It can eliminate all of the unknowns, you trying to figure it out. But at the same time, you have somebody who knows business from a financial piece that can work with you, the operator or your operator, so that you can, like I said, really implement things that are going to work for you, not just try and guess or make really subjective decisions. The number of times I've had somebody say, well, I have more money in the bank this month than I did last month, so I must be doing pretty good. And then we take a look and you've forgotten to pay all of your bills for 90 days. It's like, you're not actually doing better, but you do have a lot of cash. So that CFO right now for a lot of companies is a major and just moving the business forward and keeping it profitable in a time when shoppers are cautious, refunds are up, and discounts are being searched for. How you can maintain that margin to continue to grow and scale is really where that CFO can be a huge help to you.
Very cool. Very cool. And you mentioned to me before that your firm has been operating a hybrid business model like well before COVID. Talk to us a little bit about like the decision decisions around that and how that's worked out for you.
Yeah. So we have a corporate office in Akron, Ohio. It's great and we've loved it. And the first couple people we hired were all in Akron. What I quickly realized was two things. One, there's a lot of really good talent all throughout the United States, and we work with clients throughout the United States. So why would we not tap into the best accountants and controllers in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, when I have plenty of clients on the West Coast time? So it really served us in a way to get the best talent and also make it easier for our clients that they weren't stuck always having to work in Eastern time or our people having to work at 9 p.m. because it was more convenient for our West Coast people. So for us, it was all about talent and getting the right people.
Makes a lot of sense.
What I found is that there's a whole category of women out there who, because they are mom and are living in more rural areas, were not able to actually have the corporate job that they were striving for because it was an hour and a half outside the city. And so this work from home model where it didn't matter what time you were working, as long as the work got done, meant that not only was I tapping into a category of talent that I wouldn't get in Akron, Ohio, I was also tapping into a category of talent of people who wanted to do this job, but just weren't able to because it wasn't near them from a location standpoint. And so once we did that, it is our best, like I always say, it's our best performing marketing funnel is our job hiring post. We have people all across the United States. I think we're in 18 different states with controllers. And again, it just allows us to get the best people on the team that meet our culture and what we're trying to do.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes, I've heard that strategy and that specific demographic working very well for other businesses. So that makes a lot of sense. And kudos to you for being sort of forward thinking in that, and probably allows you to scale the business a lot more efficiently at this point in time.
Correct. Yep.
Great. Awesome. All right. So now we want to let the audience get to know a little bit about Rachel. Okay. So we're gonna enter into a segment that I really enjoy. We call it the lightning round. So we never tell our guests about this ahead of time. That's kind of the deal. And all we're asking for you, Rachel, it could be a one-word answer. It could be an explanation. That doesn't matter. We just want you to give us the first thing that comes to your mind. All right.
Okay.
And we'll get started with, I think, some easier ones. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. What's one tool or piece of technology, so it could be hardware or software, other than your phone or your computer that you can't live without?
Piece of technology, my Kindle.
Okay, I like it. I'm a Kindle on the iPad guy, and I couldn't live without that either. I do the Kindle app on the iPad, so love that. So we'll maybe get into some books as well. Favorite quote or phrase about money or success?
So mine would be from Ruth Bader Ginsburg, lead in a way in which you want other people to follow you. And I think that that's just a way that I want to be represented in a way that people want to follow behind that too.
Very cool. Actually kind of aligns with a LinkedIn post I did this morning. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Rachel. All right, so let's hit it. Favorite book on finance or business or success?
Revenue Harvest. It was one of the books that helped me frame sales a little bit differently from a more financial standpoint, as opposed to just go and generate more sales. It really dials in this idea of financial forecasting through your revenue perspective.
I got to be honest, I don't think we've ever had someone mention a book that I hadn't known before, but you just did. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
I just put it down. So yeah, I added it to my list. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Can you give us one personal hack? It could be finance or otherwise, but give us some sort of personal hack that you use.
My calendar. Everything is calendar to me. Even if it's doing a walk with my son in the middle of the afternoon, it's on the calendar and I'm living by it. I'm not pivoting off of it.
Very cool. Love that. What's one bucket list item that you've already accomplished?
Buying fully accountable was the big one for us. Yep.
Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. What's one financial milestone that you're still working towards?
So for us, we just built a home about a year and a half ago. And so for us, it would be, for me, it would be paying off the dream home that we purchased.
Good for you.
Good for you. Yeah.
Very cool. And if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't stress the future so much. I think that I worried so much about what it would look like when I was 30 and 35 that I worked really hard, but I think sometimes I worked hard unnecessarily. And so I think there's a line of working hard, but also enjoying some of that time when you're younger because you're not going to get that time back.
Sure. That's really powerful. Very nice. All right. And then you mentioned your website earlier, but if our listeners want to connect with you, maybe collaborate from a referral perspective or work directly with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yep. So you can email me at rachel@fullyaccountable.com. You've got our website. We have a LinkedIn. I also have a personal LinkedIn that you can connect on me with there. And when in doubt, there's a phone number on our website. You can always pick up the phone and call us and somebody will direct you right to me.
Very cool, Rachel. Well, we will first off put your information in the show notes today. And I want to just say thank you for joining us today. This was a great discussion. I know I learned a lot and I'm sure our audience will as well.
Amazing. I appreciate it, Dan.
You bet. All right. That's it for the episode. As always, keep your strategy sharp, your goals clear, and your money working as hard as you do. Thanks again to Rachel Phillips for joining us for this episode of Making Sense of Your Money. Cheers.